Coming up today on Whitt from Whitt Radio.
You're not just seeing autism, you're seeing that person with their personality, with their strengths and weaknesses. And just like all of us are very unique, so are they.
My guest, TAMMY VICE, is shining a light on autism by sharing her music as a songwriter and her journey as a mom.
We began to enjoy our child for who she was. She's taught me more than I'll ever be able to teach her.
Plus, find out what kids these days will never know when my nieces and nephew join me for a little Whitt Chat. What is a cassette tape?
A cassette tape? What now?
Whitt from Whitt Radio starts right now. Well, April is Autism Awareness Month, and my next guest today, singer-songwriter TAMMY VICE, is joining me to talk about the impact autism has had on her life and the influence it's had on her music. Take a listen to her song, Help Me Break Those Chains.
Help me break those chains that hold your precious mind. Like Rapunzel and her castle, please let down your golden hair. I need to climb and join you so that I can find that something that's missing between here and there. Help me break those chains. Please help me break those chains.
And TAMMY VICE joins me now. Hi, Tammy. Welcome to Whitt from Whitt Radio.
Hi, Whit. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And, I've been covering autism awareness stories really since high school. It's a very interesting subject, I feel. And I met you a couple of years ago, I believe, doing a story on a singer named Logan Blade. He's a young singer on the autism spectrum. You are his songwriter, and I'll be sharing that story. It's a video report. I'll be sharing that again on my Facebook and social media this month. But it's very inspiring to have connected with you after doing that and follow you on Facebook and the different organizations that you're involved in. But before we get into that, from your experience and knowledge, can you just inform listeners on what autism spectrum disorder is?
It's a developmental disability that greatly affects or can greatly affect their social communication and behaviors. To share the statistics with you on autism, it's 1 in 68, according to the CDC. Boys are 5 times more likely than girls to have it, and it is all across racial, ethnic, and socioeconomic, all walks of life. Again, it's a spectrum disorder, so you can see it on many levels. Everyone with autism is not nonverbal. You can have anything from the very severe to just someone being mildly affected and being uncomfortable in public settings. One of the myths would be that they don't have emotions or don't have feelings. That's so not true, because just because you don't see it on the outside, you don't know what's going on in the heart. A lot of times they want friends, but just don't know how to do and say the appropriate things to grow relationships. Just like anyone else, we're all individuals. So when you see a child, you're not just seeing autism, you're seeing that person with their personality, with their strengths and weaknesses. And just like all of us are very unique, so are they.
Sure. And what would be some signs and symptoms that maybe a parent who is noticing a slower development in their child might need to look for?
What I remember is sort of that wall coming up, or where you say their name and can't get their attention, or they just don't seem to be paying attention to you. They don't seek your attention. It just seems like they're in their own little world. We thought our daughter was deaf. That was our first indication, because where she had been hearing us and connecting, suddenly we just weren't able to communicate with her. That's the thing. You might see that they just seem disconnected and don't pay attention, don't answer their name. Won't look you in the eye. That was one of the changes that we noticed.
And can you give a little introduction to your daughter, Morgan, who is on the autism spectrum?
I always tell everybody, Morgan is my joy and she makes me nuts. She is very much what comes up, comes out. She's very unfiltered. As far as her development, she was diagnosed at age 3. she went from answering questions to suddenly just echoing words back to me. So for the longest, a lot of her communication was just, she would use scripts from the movies and just say repeated phrases over and over. So she had very little functional communication. But as time went by, she began to use those phrases in appropriate ways.
And she is the younger of your two children. So what was that like to find out about that diagnosis and to see those missed milestones?
It was very difficult. And I think it's like you said, I had one child who, everything came along as it should. And so you have certain expectations. And with Morgan, she had actually reached milestones. She reached all the milestones up to 18 months and even up to 2 years. And then that's when she started slipping back. So things that we had the communication where she could answer questions, as I said before, suddenly she couldn't. And she would just echo my words back to me. Where she looked at me and engaged, we lost that. So it was like something was just taking her away from us, but we just didn't understand what it was. And the hardest time for me was that not knowing that something was going on, that we were losing our child, but we just had no idea what it was. And there was about 6 years between our two daughters. And just to even see their relationship change, where they were so close and had joy being together, I would watch our older daughter, Allison, try to relate to her and try to include her in games and pretending. And, and all of that went away. And just seeing her relationships disintegrate, that was really hard. So it took us 7 different professionals to get there. Of course, that was she was born in 93. So 1995, 96 was when we started getting an understanding. And we just went to several different specialties before we actually heard the word, autism. And by then we had a list of everything it was, and it made a lot of sense. But at that time, doctors would give the diagnosis and there wasn't a lot of what's next. We were still left with this patchwork of where do we go from here.
And where did you go from there? I mean, what has the journey been like for your family?
Oh, it's been a lot of learning, spending most of our days in speech therapy and OT. And oh my gosh, our whole life's wrapped around that because we were so busy trying to get her back. We left Alabama to come to Tennessee because of a strong autism support here and some of the things that Vanderbilt was doing. So as you go, you start out with all of these expectations, and then you finally start learning who your child is. And it became more about, let me just get to know Morgan. And that's when things kind of turned around for us. Let me enjoy her for who she is. Let me start seeing what her strengths are. And we began to enjoy our child for who she was.
Coming to now in your life, being connected with you on social media and following your day-to-day activities that you do document with Morgan, it is really interesting to see. So what would kind of be the average day? I don't even know if average would be the right word or even typical.
Right. It's taught me to be in the moment. Morgan exited the school system about 2 years ago, and so I'm her full-time buddy now. We're involved in special needs sports and art organizations like Borderless Arts Tennessee. They have been great. I'll have to stop here and say that I'm just a fan of the arts because it's really helped us to communicate. The communication is so much more than words. She does work a couple of mornings a week at a little sandwich shop, and I'm there with her to just kind of keep her on task. So she does that. She is very much about events and holidays and what each month brings. So she's very driven by her calendar, and she likes a little bit of schedule. She likes to know what's coming, but she doesn't want, quote, too much schedule. So I pretty much follow her lead, and we always try to have, like new adventures each day. But one of the things she likes to do is paint the window each month as the season changes. So we do it. We just, we've got a big sliding glass door in the back, and it has become our canvas. And again, like I said, I follow her lead. I'm just very comfortable with taking each day as it comes. She's really taught me that. There was a time when I couldn't, but now it's become my life.
Know the Hope. What is that about? That's your foundation, correct?
It is a business. It's knowthehopeinc.com is where you can find that. And individuals with disabilities are actually so able in so many ways. So we try to show the community how able our kids are, whether it's finding that job or just the things that we have to offer. Our whole purpose is to encourage families. and strengthen families just because of what we've learned and sort of being in the moment, enjoying every day that comes along. We recently wrote a book called 52 Blue Mondays, and it's full of quotes because, as I said earlier, what comes up comes out with Morgan. So we've taken a lot of those quotes and put them throughout the book. We've included some of her artwork in that, trying to develop something so that Morgan could be a part of it. That's where some of her artwork has come in, where the book has come in. And so we are developing products little by little to be able to offer. I had heard a statement from a book where it said disability ministry is not complete until those with disabilities are ministering back. And that was what really hit me. You know, it's not about what can others do for us, it's what can we do for everybody else. So that's the little spark in me that I want to show what individuals with disabilities can do and what they can give and offer back.
52 Blue Mondays. What else do you want to share about that?
Morgan's always comfortable at home, but sometimes when she gets out with a group, she's not, and she'll shut down. So it's not as easy for her to get to know others. So the book was my way of letting others in there, sort of demystifying Morgan, letting them get to know her a little bit better. She had always made me laugh with some of the things she'll say. For example, I remember asking her one day to help me. We were working outside in the yard, and I said, "Don't you want to come and help?" She says, "I'm busy relaxing." When you can open the heart and help people laugh, you can also teach.
Tell me about your breakfast. It's Saturday, is number 31. Eat good breakfast today. Mom and Dad Morgan.
Won't be long.
Saturday's good breakfast. Yummy scrambled eggs. Egg biscuit sandwich today. Eggs biscuit sandwich. It smells good. Right to me. That sounds good.
How do you make it?
I can pour milk and eggs all myself. Put eggs in the pan. Top on the stove. Use the kitchen. Time to cook on the kitchen. Top on the stove.
You do a good job.
I did it.
We had a lot of fun writing this book, but I know there's still moms and dads out there that have not heard the voice of their child yet. And to them, I just want to say, you know, we love you, Dad. We appreciate you, Mom, and just give them the future. One thing I want every parent to know is to challenge their children. Whatever they won't do today, it doesn't mean they'll never do it. When Morgan was little, a lot of her communication was also screaming, grunting. She had a great deal of trouble accessing her words. Through a speech device, she was able to gain that because, you know, once she saw the pictures, it helped her find her words. And even now, whenever I think Morgan can't do the next thing, I never say she'll never do that. I say she can't do it yet. So I hope other parents will hear that, because I would have never known back then that she would be as far ahead as she is today and be able to do the things she's doing. Developmental delay is just that. It doesn't mean they will never do it. It just means it might be a little bit further down the road. So never give up. Just, you know, keep trying those skills. Morgan learned to tie her shoes just last April. It's been the 5th will be a year, I think, that she learned to tie her shoes on her own. And that seems like such a small thing, but it's huge. You know, it's part of independence. So celebrate every little milestone, every victory, enjoy it, and never give up. You know, just keep trying, because they're always learning. It doesn't matter how old they are always growing and always learning.
As I mentioned at the beginning of this interview, April is Autism Awareness Month. April 2nd, which this podcast will be going out right after, is the big day. How can listeners help raise awareness?
I would tell people, you know, educate yourself first. Autism Tennessee has a great site, autismtn.org. They've got a lot of information about facts and myths about autism. So once you learn yourself, then you're able to help others. A lot of times you'll see odd behaviors, you know, in the grocery store when you see that child acting up and they seem unreasonable. Don't be so quick to judge. Step back and think, you know, maybe it is something going on. So the more we can learn about a disability, when we see it, the quicker we can recognize it.
How will Morgan and your family, how will you all be lighting it up blue? I know that's what you do for Autism Awareness Day. It's the colors blue and the puzzle piece and all that.
April is blue for Morgan. That's it's just become that way. And one event that we've done at the Bluebird for 17 years now, it is to raise autism awareness. It's Songwriters Night. This year it's April 24th. We'll have an early and late round. Morgan will be there for the early round. And our family raises awareness and funds for Autism Tennessee. It's become our thing we do for the month to help the community understand more about autism.
Your music and your songs, a lot of them are inspired by your experience in raising Morgan. They are inspired directly by Morgan there. Do you want to share a little bit about that and your songwriting process? And, the two songs that I'm sharing today at the top, I shared Help Me Break Those Chains, and I'll be sharing a song called Morgan Smiled today a little bit later. So what would you like to say on that subject?
Well, Help Me Break Those Chains, if you listen to the lyric, it was when I was trying to reach Morgan and it just seemed impossible to finally be able to look in her eyes again, to get her to look back at me. And one of the milestones has been that now she does. She very much wants my attention and she looks directly, but it's been over a period of years of just, keeping reaching out to her, keeping things going. And so that song came from there. And that's actually the title of our fundraiser. The Breaking the Chains fundraiser is there at the Bluebird. And then the song Morgan Smile Today has been more recent, and just it's a few years down that journey where it's all the things you do to try to find their joy, and to finally see that and have it come back is it's just been great. So you'll hear through my music just over the years different stages of that journey.
What would be an overall or takeaway message you'd like to share to listeners about autism?
Sometimes people think that, we need to fix this, or how do you fix autism? And I don't know that it's something to fix. I just feel like I wear a puzzle piece, for example, and what it reminds me is we were all created unique for a reason. Each of us has something to offer that no one else can. And that's what I see when I see Morgan, when I see her buddies, when I see everyone out there. I know that she goes to a place in people's hearts that I can't. And there is a reason that she is everything she is. And I just enjoy getting to be a part of that. She's taught me more than I'll ever be able to teach her.
Wow.
Sometimes life can hand us hard things that we don't understand. Just when we try to rise back up, they knock us down again. She's had more than her share of sad days, and her joy is the answer to every prayer I prayed. Morgan smiled today, and we both laughed and played, and I forgot about the price of gas and all the problems in my past, and tomorrow's troubles melted away. Morgan smiled today. Morgan smiled today.
And where can you be found online and on social media?
TammyVice.com, TammyVice.com, or knowthehopeinc.com. It will get you to the same place. Our Facebook is Tammy Vice, and again, you will see Morgan there. So I do a monthly blog through WordPress, and they can Google that. Just Google Tammy Vice Know the Hope, and you'll get to watch our family's journey.
Awesome. And your music's on iTunes and all those streaming services, I guess? Okay, great.
All places there are music and digital, you'll be able to find that.
Tammy Vice, thank you so much for being on Whitt from Whitt Radio today. This has been very informational and also very inspiring. So
appreciate it.
Morgan smiled today.
And finally today, it's time for a round of a Whitt Chat. So joining me for some topical conversation are three of my favorite people. We've got Drake, Addie, and Celby here. they would be my nieces and nephew. So Drake, start us off. Introduce yourself, even though I just said your name, but you can tell them your age, what grade you're in, and something you like to do, something you're interested in.
Hi, I'm Drake. I'm in 4th grade and I'm 10 and I love to do football.
All right, Addie.
I'm Addie and I'm 10. I'm in 4th grade and I love to do cheer.
Celby.
My name is Celby and I'm 6 and I'm in kindergarten and my favorite thing is to do cheer.
Okay, and you like unicorns, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So people my age, we often say something like, kids today don't understand because technology has changed so much since you all were around. You all have, say if you have a cell phone.
Drake does.
Addie does.
Celby, do you have a cell phone yet?
No.
Do you have an iPad?
Yes.
Okay. So you guys are constantly doing technology stuff. So I'm going to ask you some questions and you guys tell me what I'm talking about, if you even know. And if you don't know, just take a guess because this is technology that it's a time gone by. All right. What is a payphone? Anybody know? Take a guess.
Like a phone that you pay stuff on?
Yeah, okay. Drake, do you know?
No.
Celby?
No.
Payphone was like a public phone and you went and put money in it and you could call people on it.
I saw one of those on my iPad.
You saw one on your iPad? Okay. What is a phone book? Don't look it up. Drake was looking it up on his phone.
Book?
Yeah, what's a phone book?
Oh, it's a book where it shows you all the people that live around you, what their phone numbers is.
Yeah, good job. You got that one. All right. What is a pager?
I think it's when, well, you can't text anybody or call anybody. With text. I know my mom used to have it and my dad. But I don't know what it is.
Okay. Well, a pager is like a little beeper, and when you didn't have a cell phone, it went off, so you went to a pay phone to call someone. Or sometimes it just had like a little text message on it. All right, next, what is a cassette tape?
A cassette tape?
What now?
A cassette tape.
A tape that, olden days tape.
What does that mean?
Like one of those tapes, that you put it in and then it, I don't know.
It's like a square, tiny in a square.
Like it's like a black and then it has
it's
those two
a square. It has like a
circles.
tiny CD in it.
What?
It's tiny. It's like a square. It has a CD in it.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
It's like a thing that you plug into like a TV or something and it shows you clips of stuff.
Close enough. Okay, you're getting there. It's kind of like a CD, but plays music. It is square, and it's got tape on it that has your music.
Oh.
So, yeah. Do you know what a Walkman is?
A Walkman?
Yeah. Celby, do you know?
No.
Right?
No.
Okay. A Walkman is like a portable player for your cassette tapes. So, like, your iPhone has music on it. That's what was used back in the day. I never had one of those, though, just saying. Next, you can probably know this one. What's a CD?
A CD is a thing that shows music, old tapes,
Movies.
Movies or songs.
Okay, yeah.
It has a hole.
You
in
plug it into a
has a-
TV or a CD player.
It has a hole in the middle.
Yeah. Do you know what a boombox is?
I know. Okay. It's a box. It's a box that you have a little device and you put it in, and it plays music.
Yeah. It's basically a CD player, yeah. What's a VCR? What about a VHS? I'm getting silence and stares. Do we not know what either of those are? A VHS?
A car.
A what?
A car?
A car? Celby, do you have a guess?
No.
Drake?
No.
It's not a car.
A phone?
No.
An old phone?
No. A VHS is what we used to watch movies on. It's a tape, a long tape. And a VCR is what you stuck the VHS inside of.
Oh.
Yeah. What is Blockbuster?
A Blockbuster?
Yeah. Or movie gallery.
a gallery of movies, like a bunch of movies.
These are two different stores where we used to go rent movies. So before Netflix, we went to the store and picked out our movies.
Kind of like a Redbox.
Kind of like a Redbox. Yeah, Redbox killed Blockbuster and Movie Gallery. And then Netflix killed it all. So, yep. We went to the store and we went down the aisles and picked out everything. What is a typewriter?
A typewriter. Okay, it has like two handles and it like types it. Like, okay, so there's like little keys and then there's like paper where it comes out and you type it and then the paper comes out.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's an old way to type on. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Instead of like typing it on like notes or something, you could just type it and it comes out on a piece of paper.
Yep, close enough. Okay, do you guys know what the pound sign is?
The pound?
The pound sign.
Like the dog pound?
No. It's a sign on the phone.
An apple?
No. All right, I'm going to show y'all this sign, and you tell me what you think it is.
Okay.
Or what you call it. That right there.
Hashtag. Hashtag.
Tic-tac-toe.
Yeah, the hashtag. But it used to be called the pound sign. When you were trying to call somewhere and they gave you options for like a person's certain line or a message machine, which I don't even know what that is, it would be like, press pound to reach such and such.
Oh, yeah. I hear that. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. So have you guys ever ridden in a car where you have to wind down the window? Have you done that before?
Yes, I've seen it. I watched a show where they had a car door and they went. I've been in one.
Yeah, you scroll it.
I've been in one.
Okay. Have you guys heard of NSYNC?
Nope.
No? Celby, no? Drake, no? No? All right, what about the Spice Girls?
No.
No.
No?
It sounds funny, but no.
Okay, what about Britney Spears?
Yes.
You
I've
have heard of
her.
Britney? Okay, I feel better about that. Also, NSYNC, Spice Girls, iconic. Y'all should look them up. Okay, before we end here, I want to know, what's cool with the kids these days? I mean, what music are y'all listening to? What TV shows are you watching and listening to?
I'm listening to like country songs or like rap-ish songs.
Okay.
And my favorite TV show is Liv and Maddie. My favorite like song artist is John Mayer.
Drake, what about you?
Post Malone. Florida Georgia Line.
I like Taylor Swift.
You like who?
Taylor Swift.
Okay, Taylor Swift. Y'all watch YouTubers though, right?
Yes.
Okay, so YouTube is big with your generation. What are some YouTubers you watch?
Jake Paul.
Annie LeBlanc or like Bertaley. Oh, Karina Garcia.
Do the kids still say lit? Is that a thing?
Yeah, I see
Yes.
Okay. Slime is a big thing, right? How do we make slime?
Glue, like any activator, like contact solution, baking soda,
Paint.
but you can use glue, activator, and like paint and glitter if you want, and then you just shaving cream, and then you just mix them all together.
Oh,
And
man.
you can use any color you want.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's do over and out on the count of 3. I'll count to 3. 1, 2, 3.
Over and out.
Oh, that was loud.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.